be fighting each other off for top goal scorer this season. He hits the crossbar. Folian is out wide. It's Folian or Folaren. Almost from the halfway line, chips over the top, smashes it against the crossbar. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 35 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode we have the first two games of the new League 2 season, as we first open the season with a home game against Stevenage, followed by an away trip to Southend. For those who may not have watched the transfer special and want to know how we got on, I highly recommend going back and watching that before moving on to this episode, as I covered all of the ins and outs of the summer transfer window there, along with last season's review. Obviously, since the last episode, I've not moved on much further, moved on a couple of days. It has been so few days, however, that Iqbal is actually still with us and hasn't actually moved on to Hull City yet, but I'm sure he may do before this episode is done. So with no news, let's get into the first match of today's episode, as we see how our transfers have made a difference to the squad, see how we fare compared with last season, and with expectations of us being second in the table, I'd like to think that we could better start off positively with a win. Now, the only piece of news before I announce the team is, unfortunately, we lost Divine right at the end of pre-season. He's actually going to be out for a number of weeks with sprained knee ligaments. And this does mean we'll be having a debut at left back for this game. But we have Huddard in goal, a almost unrecognisable back four of Hancock, who comes in full Divine, Kirk, Tricker and Hosanna. Obviously Tricker being the only familiar face from that back four, but also who does keep the captaincy for this season. Adebayi, McDonnell and Mundell, a very familiar central midfield, with McDonnell keeping the vice captaincy this season. Lewis in attacking midfield, and a very familiar and strong partnership up front with Fagan and Taylor Crossdale, who hopefully will be fighting each other off for top goal scorer this season in League 2. Let's get into the match. Yes, there are a few players who are still struggling for a little bit of fitness, but hopefully that will change as we get into the first couple of games and players start to get some competitive action. Let's pump the fists. Come on, lads. Show me what you can do. Let's go out and get a positive result to start the season. I'll take a draw, but I think we should be going for the jugular from the start. Let's get a win. Let's get 3 points in the first game. But with 3.5 minutes on the clock, we have a highlight here. Stevenage coming forward with the ball to Ote. Osborne. Out wide to Wildin, I presume that is. Who's running down the wing, chips into the back post. Hosanna, first touch of his Boreham career to clear the ball. Ball comes back in again though. Smith with the ball there. Hosanna was caught out the second time round. Luckily the ball goes wide, and we are not punished for that error. Right, McDonnell has a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Brilliant save from the Stevenage goalkeeper there. McDonnell looking to open his goal account this early in the season, but this time with a corner, whipped into the centre, is cleared by Carter, but only as far as Lewis. Lewis goes back to Hosanna, and that ends the highlight. Two opportunities there from set pieces. Free kick was definitely the better option, the biggest chance, and I think McDonnell does have another free kick option here. This time a little bit further to the right, whips it in. Unfortunately, can't get it on target this time and goes wide of the post. We have a throw in now with Hosanna to Mundell, back to Hosanna. Back to Mundell, in the penalty area. To Hosanna, whips it in to Lewis at the back post. Was Lewis fouled there? He was. We have a penalty. This will be Fagan to hopefully get his first goal of the season. Hopefully first of many on 32 minutes. Up against the Stevenage goalkeeper, and he slots it home for his first and our first of the season. You'd always put your money on him to score from the penalty spot, and he made it look very easy. Goalkeeper guessed the right way, didn't get anywhere near it though. He slotted it right into the bottom corner to make it Boreham 1, Stevenage 0. And just before half-time, Stevenage have a throw-in on the right-hand side, looking to try and equalise before half-time. However, we push them all the way back to their goalkeeper, who made that spectacular save from McDonnell's free kick earlier in the half. Ball comes forward, and as far as Kirk, though, manages to collect back to our goalkeeper, Huddard, who's made his fair share of spectacular saves over the last couple of seasons. Is he going to go long this time? No, he goes back to Tricker. A little bit of a 1-2. Bit of a slower start, but now to Mundle. Mundle now moves into the Stevenage area. Taylor Crossdale's in the penalty area for his first of the season. Hopefully this is how it's going to be. It's going to be a case of one for Fagan, one for Crossdale. As one goes ahead, the other's going to pull the other one back. But what a goal. Mundle with the ball forward. Beautiful ball to Taylor Crossdale. Left his marker in his dust. Slotted it in past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 just before half-time, making my half-time tea talk 10 times easier than it would have been just before that. So let's go into the dressing room. I'm going to pump the fists. You've played well, but there's still room for improvement. And what a first half that is going to be. Hopefully it's not a one-off and we come out in this second half just as positively as we went in at half-time. Right, 77 minutes on the clock. This is normally a little bit later than I would leave it normally for substitutions, but the team is playing well and didn't want necessarily to mess around with it. So we'll bring Reedy on for his first appearance in a competitive fixture. I think we'll replace both fullbacks who haven't been playing well. We'll bring Dion Jones on for his first appearance in the team. And then I think we'll make the third substitution. We'll bring Robson on for Lewis to freshen up that attacking midfield space. Right, almost just over 10 minutes left to go, and Stevenage have a throw in. They're in the penalty area. Kirk manages to clear it cleanly low to Fagan, who's in space. Can he find his partner, Crossdale? He can. Crossdale is through in the penalty area. Can he get a second? He hits the crossbar. What a shot from Crossdale there from just inside the penalty area, looking to make it 3 and trying to grab his second. We have a throw in on 86 minutes. Reedy to Crossdale. Looking for, I think it was Adebayi. Unfortunately, couldn't find him. Stevenage now coming forward, whipped into the penalty area. Huddard, though, is on his toes, comes running out to collect it. Now to Tricker, to Mundle, to McDonald. We look now to build from the back. Adebayi, to Fagan, to Robson. This is some nice football. To Mundle. Can he get another assist? He's walking to the penalty area, takes a shot himself. Unfortunately, it comes to nothing, and their goalkeeper collects it. But straight away, we have another highlight. Stevenage with the ball, looking to try and get their first of the season. But a wayward pass finds Adebayi to Taylor Crossdale to Fagan. Is it going to be 1-2? It's going to put Mundle through instead, who's in the penalty area. He's gone wide, unfortunately. Whips it back in to McDonald, who gets his first. Mundle gets his second assist of the game. That makes it 3-0, and that gives us our first 3 points of the season. What a start from these boys, especially for the number of players that we've had ripped out of the heart of this squad over the summer. But the key players who were here last season are making their mark. Mundle, McDonald, Fagan and Crossdale, proving that they are the heart of the team. And there we have it, full time. 3-0. What a start to the season. Fagan and Crossdale definitely justifying them being in the top goal scorers charts earlier on in the League 2 season. Outstretched arms. Very pleased with the result. Now let's go to Southend and try and make it 2 from 2. Well, we've not gone very far, but Iqbal has now gone to Hull for the £400,000 the board managed to renegotiate with the transfer fee eventually rising to 550 subject to conditions. Man United get a slice of the pie as well. We only get £41,000 out of that deal. That is disgusting. Look at the finances. Well, that leaves us with just over 100,000. I wonder, I mean, it's not going to help now, but I wonder if we can we ask for increase percentages of transfer revenue? We asked for that. It's not going to help us now, but just in case anybody else, because really I should have asked for that at the beginning of the summer. I'm now talk about trying to close the gate after the horse has bolted. As I said before, I'm not expecting to use much of that unless we do get the chance to bring in a superstar player. So unless something like that happens in the next 6 days, expect the next section to be the Southend game. One thing you'd hope from a football board is that they aren't indecisive about what they do, what actions they take. Almost straight away after I asked for an increase in transfer revenue, they said no. And then a couple of days later, it's not even a couple of days, a couple of hours later, an hour later even, they agreed and said that due to better than expected finances, they can increase it to 30%. What happened in that last hour? It is match day number 2 as we go away to Southend to look and try and get back-to-back wins to start the season. And there's been no more news, and having had a week since the last match, we are almost completely unchanged, with Reddy coming in for Hosanna being the only change from the side that won the last match. So let's get straight into this game. I'm still going to go with a positive mentality, even though we're playing away. I think being on the front foot, especially this early in the season, is going to be our best shot, especially with a new tactic. I'm going to say, yes, can't pump the fist and do that. Point the finger, pick up from where you did last time out. We definitely want more of the same. And we have a free kick here with McDonald, whipped to the back post. Goalkeeper manages to get to it, but only as far as Lewis. Lewis loses the ball, but Tricker manages to get it back to Mundell, to Kirk, to Hancock. Chips it over, looking for Fagan. Manages to find Fagan, who slots it into the bottom corner. What a chip by Hancock to find Fagan free in the area. Well, I say free in the area. He actually had to do a lot of work to get free from his man. Ball comes to Tricker, to Mundell, to Kirk. All the way back to Hancock, almost from the halfway line, chipped over the top. Fagan one touch and then slams it in the bottom corner to put us ahead after only 3.5 minutes. We have a throw in on 20 minutes with Hancock to Adebayi. Whips it into the centre, looking for a second assist. Couldn't find anyone though. Back out with Hancock. To McDonald. Now to Adebayi. Back to McDonald. Getting a little bit of pressure from Southend as we look for our second. McDonald struggling to find a pass. Manages to find Adebayi, but we're slowly being pushed back towards our own half. We managed to find a little bit of space now with Fagan. Out wide to Mundell. Mundell's gone past his man in the penalty area. Tries to go for a shot instead of a cross. And it seemed like he was conflicted with the two it was really neither. It was a very weak shot, if I'm honest. We have the ball yet again a couple of minutes later. Hancock and Lewis passing it between each other, but Hancock's poor pass means that Southend now come away with the ball. Folian is out wide to Howell, and at the back post of it's Folian or Folaren. It doesn't matter. He gets the assist. Southend get their equaliser only a couple of minutes after we were just attacking their goal. Very disappointing. Howell managed to get away. I presume that's going to be that. There was Kirk at the back. He is the new man in the team, but you'd expect him to better track his man a little bit better than that. And 2 minutes later after that, Southend have another highlight. Could this be a turnaround in a matter of minutes? Hopefully not. Clifford whips the ball into centre to Howell. Howell hits the post. Howell looking for a quick double within a couple of minutes. And we really need to start screwing our heads on straight, because otherwise we're going to be going in at half-time behind. Right, Southend with a free kick with Clifford. Whip forward to Howell. Howell's in space. He's got away from Kirk yet again. Luckily, Kirk manages to get back quickly this time. Gets in the tackle. And we managed to clear it out for a throw-in. We now have a throw-in on 35 minutes. Mundell to Reddy. Chips forward looking for Fagan. Defender misses the ball. Fagan's now free in the penalty area. Can he find his second? He can't. He can't even get it on target, unfortunately. In that position, at the very least, you have to challenge the goalkeeper, but it went wide. And coming in at half-time, I mean, 1-0 away is not a bad start. And based on the stats, Southend deservedly have their goal. If anything, probably would want to be slightly ahead with the chances they've had. I'm going to pump the fist. We are the better team. We just need to go out there, believe that, and make sure we get back in front again. Riley now with a throw-in for Southend. Gets the ball back and is in a little bit of space here. Whips to the back post. Reddy, though, is there, managing to clear it. Now to Folian again. Back to Riley. Chips it forward. Manages to find him free in the penalty area. Takes a shot. Luckily, he is offside. And the goal is disallowed. Right, we have a free kick with McDonald. With 58 minutes gone. Tries to find Taya Crossdale. Unfortunately, he sails over his head. But Crossdale goes out to collect the ball. Back in to Tricker. To Lewis, who's in space. Fortunately, he can only hit the back of the defender. But it comes out to McDonald. And we recycle the play. Hancock tries to chip it over the top. Looking for Fagan again. Unfortunately, Fagan is not running this time. And can't replicate his earlier success in the first half. On 63 minutes, it is time, I think, for a couple of changes. We've got a few poor performances out there today. Mundell is not playing very well. Let's take him off and bring on Robson. Reddy is looking nervous, but he's definitely been in the mix. I'm happy to keep him on for the time being. Lewis is also struggling a little bit, but he's looking motivated. I might swap 2 over then, actually. Let's put Robson in the attacking midfield role. Let's put Lewis in that Mazzala role. This season, one thing I'm trying to do is not make too many rash changes all at once and try and see if it helps the game flow a little bit better. But Southend have the ball here. Luckily, the wayward pass goes to Hancock. Kirk, who chips it forward, looking for Robson, manages to find his man. Puts it back to McDonnell, to Adebayi, through to Fagan, who's in space in the penalty area, smashes it against the crossbar. That's the 3rd opportunity Fagan has had in this game, where he's been free in the penalty area. That has got to be the easiest of all of them. He put his foot through it. Unfortunately, he couldn't get his head over the ball. And Fagan on the next highlight loses the ball. And Southend are looking to bring it forward. With Dixon, who's out wide, to Riley. Back to Dixon. Trying to look for the cross. Now to Riley, chips it in. Kirk tries to get the header in there. I think the Southend player got there ahead of him. Luckily, it goes wide. Right, what do we do? Let's have a bit of a reshuffle, I think. Adebayi goes to the Mazzala role. McDonnell goes to the Carolero role. Lewis comes off. And let's bring on Hazeman in that defending central midfield role. Yeah, I think that's the best option for the time being. Putting everyone, hopefully, in a position that they are happy with. But Southend have a throw on 73 minutes. Yet another opportunity for Southend. Harks whips the ball into the centre. McDonnell manages to clear it. Adebayi now in the Mazzala role is in a little bit more of a further forward space. Managed to find Crossdale. Crossdale, who doesn't make a mistake this time. Fagan had a similar opportunity earlier in the half, and unfortunately ricocheted off the crossbar. But this time, the ball through from Adebayi to Crossdale. Crossdale was in space, caught the defenders out. Didn't even need to get to the penalty area, but smashed it in the back of the net to put us ahead with only 15 minutes left to play. And that little switch around in midfield was just enough to get a bit of an injection into the attacking half of the field and give us the chance we needed. But Southend are looking to peg us back yet again on 86 minutes. Chipped into the centre. Robson manages to clear it. Fagan now has the ball and loads of space. Can he go past his man? He tries to find Taya Crossdale, which he does. Chipped out wide to Hancock. Hancock chips it forward looking for Fagan yet again, but unfortunately his pass is wayward this time. And they can only find the Southend goalkeeper. Southend look to come forward again. We managed to win the ball back though again. Robson, the really poor pass from Taylor Crossdale has put us in a problem there. Howe is through. 1-on-1 with Huddard. Huddard managed to make himself big. Ball comes back in again. Cocker with the second, Coker or Cocker, whichever one it is, the second opportunity for Southend. And that draws them level. That is so disappointing. So late in the day, Taylor Crossdale puts us ahead with one stroke. And in the next highlight, puts us behind with a crucial error there. Pass backwards down the field. I think we need more encouragement. Let's go very attacking. Have we got any substitutions left to make? I don't think anything's going to make a difference at this point. We might bring Hosanna on for the last couple of minutes. Maybe push these guys forward. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I think we're going to have to settle for a 2-2 draw, which is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. A first away game of the season. And there it is. Time has ticked down. Full time. As I said at half-time, though, if you look at the stats, Southend did dominate that game. They deserved their 2 goals. Maybe you look at it that we got away with a draw there. Still a few positive results. Another couple of positive results for the strikers. Adebayi, once he got into that Mazzala role, really started to make that area his own. And Kirk did have a good game after an iffy start for the first goal for Southend. But taking positives from that, yeah, let's put hands on hips. Unlucky guys. We move on to the next match. Right, I was half tempted to come back for the next episode and do the Carabao Cup first round against Championship Brentford, which is obviously going to be a tough fixture. However, I don't really want to get bogged down this early in the season, especially as this is another season in League Two. So I think I'm going to jump forward to next month, and we're going to do Colchester, who are expected to be up and around with us in the automatic promotion spots. And maybe do Wrexham and Colchester as the next match. And really try and keep this train running. And then as we move on through the season, play it by ear and see how we get on. If it does look like we're going to do well, and maybe try and push through to the second half of the season as quickly as possible. But let me know down in the comments how you think we're going to get on this season. We've started with a win and a draw, but we're still classed that as unbeaten. And if you enjoyed that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of brand new FM21 videos from our new season in League 2. And thank you very much for watching.